Today, I have a very special guest on Careerna podcast. This conversation I have been truly looking forward to. My guest is a marketing director who brings a strong strategical lens to everything he does, balancing long-term vision with real-time decisions making and turning complexity into clarity for his teams. He has not only led marketing at scale, but consistently translated vision into direction, a direction which is measurable that brings business results. A leader who understands that true marketing is not just about campaigns, but about shaping growth, influencing decisions, and most importantly, driving organizations forward. Today, I'm lucky to have Hamza Bensaid. Hi, Hamza.
Hi, Dina.
How are you? How's everything?
Very good. How are you?
All is good, alhamdulillah. I'm super happy that you're with me today in Careerna podcast. And honestly, today's conversation is very special to me, not only because of the experience that you are going to bring with our audience, but also because of the depth of the perspective of what we will gain from your insights today. I'm very thankful for being here today, Hamza.
Thank you so much, Dina. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Okay, before we start going into the marketing aspects, I really would love, Hamza, to start with you. If you can introduce to us yourself beyond the title you're holding for today.
First of all, before I even start, I just want to really thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Because, I'm a big fan of the podcast you do. It's always very inspiring. And it's beautiful, really, So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
As for me, I'm Hamza. I'm married. I have 2 kids, I and Amin.
MashaAllah.
I love being a parent to start with. I love kids. I'm from Morocco, from a city called Tangier, which is in the north of Morocco. And interestingly, we used to see Spain from our apartment in Tangier because it's only 14 kilometers from Tangier. So Tangier is a beautiful city, definitely. If you go to Morocco, I advise you to go there. I lost my dad when I was 8 years old. So very, very young, in a family of 5. So it was not always easy life, but it was a happy childhood, And in Morocco, most cities speak French, but in Tangier, they speak Spanish, actually. So when you visit Morocco and then you end up in Tangier, you find a very different culture there compared to other cities. So you suddenly start hearing Spanish. You see people waking up late, sleeping late, which is very different from all the other cities in Morocco. And I love that city. So every time I go to Tangier, by the way, you have the Mediterranean Sea, you have the Atlantic Ocean, yes. You have forests.
Wow.
So it's a very unique place that definitely anyone should visit. Yeah.
Wow.
I studied in a French school, and I graduated in biology, actually, which very few people know. And actually, my life was full of failures and successes. And I think this cycle of failure and successes is what taught me the most. And this is why I wanted to share with you a bit of my journey, because it's what built me at the end.
Yes.
So the first failure actually was when I was 12 years old. It was 3 years or 4 years after my father passed away. And I was not interested in studies. I was not even present. My thoughts were always, with my dad. And then when I reached the 12 years old, my mom said, you know what, your grades are not so good. You need to do the class again from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that age, it's very difficult because, you don't see failure as a learning. You see it as your identity.
Exactly.
And that was, I think, one of the most difficult periods of my life. But then, slowly, I started gaining confidence back because obviously when you do a class again, you know things, it's easier.
Yeah.
You don't need to study as much. And then you start gaining confidence when you get high grades. And that gave me a boost, actually, when I started studying, getting good grades. Also you're the older kid, so you're a bit more popular in class. So I got a boost of confidence. And it stayed that way until 18 years old when I graduated from the French school. And then when I came to Dubai, it was again a huge hit in my confidence level.
Why?
Because first of all, I didn't speak English. I didn't understand anything from Egyptian dialect, from Lebanese dialect. And everyone in university were basically Arabs from this region.
Yeah.
So you can imagine you enter university, you don't speak any language, you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my first tests were in English and math. Obviously, I failed in English. I was not accepted in university. So I had to study English for 4 months just to start, The second, let's say, failure was that I wanted to do engineering, and they didn't accept me because, again, when you try to pass engineering in English, it's very different than if you study in French.
Yes.
So that I failed there too. And then, after talking to my brothers and so on, I decided to go for marketing and try it out. And the first semester, I remember I got a C. Not because I didn't understand the business, but because it was all in English. And it took me so much more effort than any other student to just study,
Yeah.
And at the same time, I had to pay for my studies. Because I studied in AUD, my mom wasn't working.
MashaAllah. Yeah.
And so I had to study in a foreign language, and I had to work at the same time in a foreign language. And I still remember, even while trying to speak English, if someone, let's say from Egypt, comes and visits me, because I used to work as a promoter, I forgot to say this part, as a promoter for a brand called Brown. They have, hair dryers and multi-cooks and all of that. And when someone comes to the store to talk to me and I reply in English, the little English that I knew, they would tell me, ليه ما بتحكي عربي? Why are you talking to me in English? Aren't you an Arab,
Yeah.
And I remember, by the way, apart from the failures in university to start, I remember my first day as a promoter. The moment I entered the store, all the promoters there that were from Philips and other competitors, they saw me as competition. They didn't like the fact that I was coming in the store. So I remember a Filipino guy actually at that time telling me, tell me about this shaver, And I was like, I'm not sure, I don't know all the details. And he's like, see, you don't know anything.
Oh my God.
You're useless.
Oh my God.
And that was the first day at work. So failure after failure after failure. But every one of these failures is what built me. Again, it really helped me understand my, my opportunities, where I need to improve, what are my shortcomings, and work on them. And the fact that I did not have a lot of time between my studies and my work is what pushed me, because I knew I had no choice than to study those 2 hours that I have between my studies and my work. So from the second semester, because 4 months was enough, to learn, I started getting A's. In the third semester, I became from the top 5 marketing students in AUD.
Wow, mashallah.
And I became the top promoter in the company. So I really worked hard, and I was sleeping 4 hours per day, max, for about 4 years.
Oh my God.
And that's what actually built me. It built resilience, patience. And a lot of people kind of undermine the job of a promoter. But I don't think any job taught me more than that job. And I will never forget it, because you have to deal with so many people that need things from you,
Yes.
that are tough, rude, starting from the consumer themselves, who can, they can come in the store and tell you, do not talk to me. I don't want to see you. Stay away from me. That's hard to hear, you know. To people in the company watching you, asking you questions, testing you, constantly, you know, challenging your behavior. And then you have people in the store manager, the store supervisor, who are constantly, you know, coming and asking you to do things completely not related to your job, talking to you in a rude way. So it really builds that patience, resilience, and you become immune, basically.
Yeah.
And so after that, so that was the second failure and success. After 4 years, we had the career fair in the university.
Okay.
I went with my CV, submitted it to P&G, Procter & Gamble.
Yeah.
And at that time, you know, I had no idea about marketing, even though I studied marketing, but it's not the marketing that you find in the corporate world.
Exactly.
And they didn't get back to me after 1 month. I was waiting. And then finally, they called me. They're like, hey, we have an opportunity as an ABM. And I was super excited because Brown was part of P&G.
Yeah.
So I used to go to trainings in P&G for 4 years already. So I knew people there. I knew the office. It was something I was familiar with. So I was excited about it. And actually, I started my career in fragrances. So I used to work in brands like Escada, you know, and part of our brands, we had Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Lacoste. And I still remember my very first week in the job. Well, first I didn't have my laptop. So I was sitting and not knowing what to do. I was completely lost. And in P&G, the culture is a bit more like we throw you in the sea and then you figure it out.
Yeah, you try it on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then after a week, I got my laptop. And we had an outing right after that. So they took us on a boat. And it was super luxurious. I was like, wow, I like work, you know. And then a week later, we had a trip to Barcelona, actually, where we had, you know, meetings with celebrities, and because all the work with fragrances is connected to celebrities.
Exactly.
And I was like, wow, this is amazing, you know. It's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then I remember once we came back from Barcelona, the reality hit me because whatever I saw in the first 2 weeks was not
was
not the corporate life, you know.
What did you see in the reality?
No, in reality, I saw people who were very competitive. I saw a completely messy environment where nobody actually gives you direction. It's not like in university we're used to, you know, clear directions.
Yeah.
You don't know who to talk to, when, what's okay to do, what's the etiquette, what, you know, should you approach someone often, should you avoid, are some questions stupid to ask, you know, am I gonna succeed? So many questions that you have in your mind. You're still young.
Yeah.
And so it was tough. And I can tell you the first year was a mix of successes and failures, because I was trying hard. I really wanted to succeed. And I was, you know, getting a lot of things done. I partnered with Yara, you know, the Lebanese singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually did a lot of work with her for Escada. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
We traveled a lot together. We did a lot of you know, mall activations where people would come, take pictures with her, buy the perfume. It was really nice.
Amazing.
It was really nice. But at the same time, when I had my first performance review, how do I tell you this? Maybe it was one of the biggest failures in my life, even bigger than the previous ones.
What did you face?
I still remember my first performance review. It said something like, you know, Hamza should look for another career other than marketing because he's never going to reach anywhere in marketing.
What's the reason behind this?
So it was something in that sort.
Oh.
Well, to start with, I was a very shy person, very introverted. And in most companies, you know, you need to be very outspoken.
Yeah.
You need to, you know, kind of be assertive.
Exactly.
And you need to you need to be able to sit in a meeting and say, I don't agree with you. And that was very hard for me because of my personality, where I come from, my culture. Everything that I come from is different from what I needed to do. Yeah. And so at that time, just like every time in my life, I decided to fight back.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I started asking people for feedback. I remember very young, sitting with people, and I tell them, you know, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel I'm in the right place. What do I need to do? And I asked this to every person in our department, and I think there were about 25 people. And I kept on doing that, just asking for feedback. It was not easy because, you know, we all have ego, and then we feel like I'm a failure. But I was used to it. So I kept asking for feedback, and eventually I started doing a bit better, but I was not the best. And whenever I feel I'm not the best and I'm not I'm not excellent at what I do, I'm not comfortable. I am not able to sleep well. And so I kept on working harder and harder. And after 2 years, finally I felt, you know, I got a grasp of what I need to do, my strength, my weaknesses, where I need to improve. And then I moved to what we call brand operations. So brand operations is where you manage like mall activations, promoters, beauty consultants, and that was my expertise.
Yeah.
Because I was a promoter for 4 years before that.
Yeah, you understand the job.
Exactly, very well. I understand people, their struggles deeply.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like, you know, you finally get something that you see you can add value quickly. You know, so once I did that, I mean, I can't say numbers, but I can tell you, my role in that job was to basically reach more people with better quality service to consumers, and at the same time save money, right?
Yes.
And if there's one thing I'm proud of, it's those 3 years that I worked in brand operations. And I started with a few brands, and then by the end of the 3 years, I had all the P&G brands. So I was managing about 12 brands.
MashaAllah.
You know, and yeah, that was one of the failure success stories, you know.
I can see resilience. I can see adaptability. A huge capability of being adaptable to change depending on the circumstances, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you, Dina. And I think that's the biggest skill set anyone should have, you know, in life in general.
Yeah.
So that's in summary about my career, yeah, now, you know, I try to always continue to grow myself, always try to learn, because at the end of the day, the biggest mistake anyone can make is to think, I know everything.
Yes, exactly.
And I reached somewhere. No. And also, I always try to stay humble as much as possible.
I know. It's super obvious, which is, by the way, this is a very, very strong leadership trait.
Yeah, I believe some people that we work with have inspired me to be that way as well. That, you know, you don't need to be tough and arrogant to be a leader.
100%.
In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Yes, 100%.
You know, so yeah, that's that. And then I think having a family is not easy. But also it's the most beautiful things that you can do in life. So I always try to find this balance between work, family, and sometimes, you know, I do more of one, less of the other. And whenever you do that, you feel guilty. I think everyone can relate.
I can relate. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So with that, I close my introduction about myself, I guess.
Perfect. Thank you, Hamza. And also, I want to I want to zoom out a little bit and take it from the bigger picture because, mashallah, as you just mentioned, that you have worked on a global brands from both aspects, from the execution part and also from the strategical leadership part. So today, regarding these two aspects, I want to ask you what today truly defines the marketing from these two aspects.
So marketing is much simpler than people, imagine. And strategy and execution, they come hand in hand. They're not separate, right? And whenever I worked in execution, I had to work with people who were in strategy. And whenever I did strategy, I had to work with people in execution. Because like I said, they come hand in hand. Yeah? So basically what strategy is to really understand the long-term impact of whatever we're going to do on the brand, and basically put a clear plan for the next 3 to 5 years, sometimes even more, on how you're going to build your brand, build the brand equity, build trust, and be seen as you want to be seen by your consumers.
Okay.
That's the strategy part, right? And then the execution comes under the umbrella of that strategy. Because if your execution is not in line with your strategy, then you're not going to achieve the goals in your strategy, right?
Yes.
So, and this is something, by the way, I had to learn over the years because, when I was in brand operations and I was trying to execute something and someone in strategy would tell me, no, that's not strategic, I was, quite critical of them and be like, no, this is the right thing to do. That's what we need to do. And sometimes you need to, like you said, zoom out, see the bigger picture, and understand that, if it goes against your strategy, you're killing the brand at the end of the day. So you have to be careful as well there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, 100%. And what I really like from what you said is the alignment.
Yeah.
The alignment from the strategy to the execution. And as you just mentioned, the consumer, because I believe that, and we all believe that the joker or the game changer of marketing is always the consumer. And there is like a word that has been very commonly used in marketing, which is the consumer centricity. So I want to ask you, Hamza, how do you define the consumer centricity in high-performing organizations?
No, thank you, Dina. And I think this will be probably the most important question that you will ask in the podcast.
Thank
because,
you.
Consumer centricity is everything.
Yes.
It's literally everything. But very few people actually understand not only the importance of it, but what it means. And that was one of them, Basically, most people think, consumer centricity is doing, some social listening and then some focus groups, do a brand health tracker, understand where your awareness stands and the brand funnel, and, you're good to go. You have a good understanding of consumers. In reality, human psychology is so complex that it's never, whatever you do to understand consumers is never enough. Because consumers, to start with, never tell you the real reason behind what they do.
Yes.
Most of us buy based on emotions. But what we say is reason and logic. Rational, exactly. So when you do those focus groups and all those research and social listening and you try to see what people type, you get only the surface of what you need to know to really understand your consumers. Okay? But once you actually go to the store, you observe instead of asking questions, it starts to change. When you ask questions that are supposed to tap in the, let's say, consumer psychology, and you don't ask direct questions, that's when you start to get some insights behind the insights.
Yes.
And once you understand your consumer deeply, that's when, you start to know exactly what you need to communicate, when, where, and how often. Right?
Yeah.
And that is basically what consumer centricity is deeply understanding your consumer and applying that to everything you do in your marketing campaign or strategy, basically. And the interesting part in consumer centricity is that consumers are always changing. Their behaviors are changing, the trends are changing, the places where they get their information is changing.
Exactly.
And so if you don't keep up, if you don't progress, if you don't adapt, you will never succeed. And I think this is something that has been a challenge in every organization between the younger generation and the older generation.
Yes.
Wherein the younger generation, they see these changes because they're always connected.
Yeah.
And they're very curious. And they follow the trends. So they know what's going on. While the older generation, they have some, ways of working that
Fixed.
has worked. It's working. They follow it. And they believe it's going to work because it worked in the past. And sometimes they're right, by the way. Some things continue to work. But sometimes they're not. And that's where leadership comes in.
Yes.
Leadership, a good leader is a leader that will basically listen to younger generations, listen to different perspectives, even if they seem completely wrong, but just take time to listen. And I would say this is the biggest opportunity people have in any organization.
Yes.
Very few people know how to do active listening.
Listen and digest. Listen and understand what's
Yes.
beyond the words.
Absolutely,
This is
yeah.
very important.
Yes.
Perfect. There is always a saying, I got it from your LinkedIn profile because I did my homework and I checked your LinkedIn profile very well. You always tend to say that I take my time to understand the business and the consumer centricity before I propose any kind of idea.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I love the saying. And that's why I want to ask you, going back to the part of the consumer, how can we relate to the human psychology or to the understanding of the emotions of the consumer beyond the data and the reports? Okay, well and good. We're having the data, we're having the surveys, we're having the results, but how to understand better the consumer centricity other than the reports that we're having?
Yeah. No, so, I used to have a manager actually that used to tell me, in my time, we used to go to consumer homes and sleep in their homes and really observe what they do, how they sleep, how they brush their teeth.
Understand.
Yeah, really understand them. And for me, it's not different from what I just told you. There is no limit to how deep you can go to understand consumers. Psychology is so deep that when you start to look into it, you actually understand there's no limit to it. So the choices that we make in our everyday lives, even we don't know why we make them sometimes.
Yes.
So if I had today to go and try to understand why I make a certain decision, I would have to study not only what I did yesterday and the day before, but what I did in the past 1 year. I need to study my childhood. And so it really goes deep. So if you go to a consumer home and you want to understand why they use this shampoo over the other shampoo, it might come to the scent that they had in their childhood.
Yeah. Oh, just the scent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, they might tell you, I like keratin and I want something that protects my hair. And then they go to the store and then they would just open the shampoo, smell it, and then make the decision. Not based on the keratin or all of that they were telling you, but based on the smell that connected them to their childhood.
Completely different approach.
Exactly. And so by going, for example, the example with my manager, by going to their homes, by asking them about their childhood and their experiences and why they like this smell over the other smell, you slowly start to understand, okay, they, for example, they're from India. In India, they like spices.
Yeah.
And why do all of them go for this specific brand? Is because it reminds them of that. So again, this is just an example, but you can apply to anything else in understanding consumers, to any brand, to any consumer, to any type of product, and to any sense. It can do with visual sense, visual cues. It can do with the consumer experience in the store even. How many times do you go to a store and then you're not planning to buy anything, but the music, suddenly the beautiful lights makes you feel cool. And suddenly you end up buying a phone,
Exactly.
just because you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what good marketing is. It's really understanding the consumer, what they like, what will make their emotions move towards what your brand stands for.
Yes, exactly.
So I hope I answered your question with that.
Yeah, 100%, perfectly said. And from these words that I want to take you, what made the consumer buy it, I want to take you through the part where you as an executive marketing leader, how can you differentiate between having a data-driven decision and the creativity intuition? Because this mixture is very important in the marketing, especially when they are in totally different directions. Sometimes the data decision is completely different than the creativity intuition. So how do you make this balance between both of them?
Dina, the answer to this is going to vary from product to product, from brand to brand. Because some brands, well, in some cases, luckily, both can coexist and both can be done together. The data part and the creative part match and so on. But in other cases, like you said, the data that you have and the creative part that you need to do can clash.
Yes.
And in that case, the brand that you're dealing with can make a lot of difference. Why? If you're working in perfumes, let's say, my first job, it's all about emotions. There are no features, benefits. It's all about how you feel about that perfume.
Yeah.
And that's why we worked with a lot of celebrities, because basically people relate to the person they see in the ad. But if you're working with a product that is very feature-oriented, very technical or whatever, then the data becomes much more important.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like math. It's 1 + 1 = 2.
Logical.
It's very logical.
Yeah.
You know what your source of business is. You know the key business drivers. And if you follow it to the book, you're going to succeed in sales, in strategy, in everything that you do. Here, it does not mean, however, that creativity dies. Still, you use that data that is super important in this case, and data is important in all cases, to basically target or reach your goals with your consumers or with your customers in some cases, to in terms again of how you reach them, when you reach them, how often, and what the data tells you. So again, just to give an example, because sometimes it can be a bit vague. So if you have a promoter in store, I was a promoter, I was selling brown. Okay, and I will tell you that people will come and they will ask me for a hair straightener that does curls, and they will basically call that straightener, regardless of the brand, they will call it Babyliss. Well, Babyliss is a brand,
Yes.
And some of them will buy 3 hair straighteners because it's for them, their daughters, and their sister. So now I give you 3 data points. Okay? If I take this data, I put it in an Excel sheet, And every other promoter in the whole region does the same thing.
Okay.
What you end up with is data that shows you the behavior of the consumer, and that will drive everything the brand will do in the future, right? So it could be a promotion with a bundle of straighteners.
Yeah.
You know, it could be because she said babyliss, right? So it could be related to how do we now drive top of mind with your brand, because people don't even remember your brand when it comes to hair straighteners.
Yeah.
So now you have data that allowed you to understand what you need to do, and the moment you follow that, you're already on the right path. And then the creative part comes in, right? So how you do your communication and where, using the data, will also dictate a bit of how your creative is going to be, right? But again, the data that you get, the data I just mentioned, if you stop there, maybe it's not enough for the creative part. You need to now, this is where you need to go a bit deeper with consumers, right? And this is where, in this case, data is much more important.
Yeah.
But creative part will come to, add on top of it and complement the data.
Yeah, perfectly said. So what I understood from you, Hamza, is that we need to settle the data for all the inputs that we want, and then the creativity comes as a complementary add-on on this data-driven, and depending on the brand identity as well.
Absolutely.
Like as you mentioned, some brands, they are emotionally driven, so we need to increase a little bit of creativity. Other brands are more logical. We need to go more into the data-driven. So
that's true, but again, don't forget one thing I said. In all cases, data is important.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even if you sell perfumes and you gather data that shows that consumers buy perfumes mostly as gifts, then you will go to a place where people go to buy gifts. You will put more bundle packs, more gift packs.
Yes, or partnership with such gift
exactly.
shop. Yeah.
So while data is more important in some brands, in some categories than others, but data will always remain important.
Definitely.
And in today's digital world, and maybe we'll talk about it later, the amount of data we get today is unmatched,
Exactly.
So maybe we will catch up on it.
We will catch up on this, definitely. Okay, since we talked on the data, and this part, it really resonates of my way of thinking. My mentor always says a saying that I really like, and she always says, when something is measurable, it's being able to being managed. And when something is managed, it's able to reach to a progress. So coming to this part of measurement, what are the matrix or signals that you rely on to depend a successful marketing plan?
No, thank you, Dina, for this question. And I think, again, one of the most important questions, and it basically comes down to KPIs.
Definitely.
Right? So key performance indicators are basically, it's vital to marketing in general.
Yes.
Because if you don't understand what indicates your performance, you are walking blindly.
Definitely.
And if you're walking blindly, the chance for you to go in the right direction becomes very small.
Yes.
So what your mentor told you is absolutely true. What you don't measure, you can't really manage, and you can't progress. Therefore,
yes.
The way I look at it is that, number one, in any business, performance indicator is sales and market share.
Yes.
If your sales are going up, people like your product, buy your product, trust your product. And then market share, what it shows you is that basically you're doing a better job than competition. And why market share is sometimes, prioritized over sales even, is because we are comparing ourselves to competition.
Yes.
And if competition is growing in terms of market share and you're not, then they're doing something better than you. And there you have a lot of data that you can get, a lot of insights that you can learn from to adapt and adjust your strategy and your execution, right? So here we're talking, so sales and market share, but then it doesn't stop there, right? Because at the end of the day, you're working for a business.
100%.
And a business that is profit-based will always, put profitability as a KPI.
Yeah.
So that's another KPI that you need to track. But then now we're talking numbers, right? But it doesn't stop there. You need to also track your brand health. How do consumers perceive you? What kind of benefits do they link your brand with? And is that benefit the same benefit you are trying to stand for as a brand, right? And then you look at the brand funnel that we already spoke about, which is, from awareness to consideration to trial to loyalty.
Advocacy or loyalty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why this is all very important, and why is it important to track these KPIs? For two reasons. First of all, it allows you to understand if your marketing strategy is working. And second, it allows you to plan for the next 3 to 5 years, looking at the whole brand funnel. What that means is that you will look at awareness. And if you see, for example, that 98% of the people know your brand, then you have much more work to do on other things and less focus on awareness. If you see that people actually know your brand, they consider it, they buy it, but then they never buy it again, then you need to adjust again your marketing strategy around how do we bring people back to the brand? How do they stay loyal to us? And it's harder to do in some categories than others, right?
Yes.
So for example, if you're selling shampoo, people might switch the brand every month, or toothpaste. But if you're selling a phone,
it's hard.
It's very hard to move someone from an iPhone to a Samsung, for example.
Yeah.
So based on the category you're working on, the brand you're working on, you will look at that brand funnel. You look at the KPIs in terms of brand health, and then you will decide what you need to do.
Okay.
So just to summarize, you have the data that is part of the KPI, market share, sales, profitability. And then you have the the brand health that you also need to track, that is super important for a marketeer.
Okay, perfect. Since you mentioned regarding the sales and the market share, there is this ongoing debate between the sales and the marketing, where I want to ask you, how do you balance building a long-term brand identity from a marketing perspective, but meanwhile, as you just mentioned, looking at the sales, performance, current sales?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. And this is, again, one of those things that don't always clash, but sometimes they do. So to give you an example, if the marketing, let's say, team thinks about reducing the number of SKUs, because in the long term they want to focus on a specific benefit for the brand, and they believe that's the right way to go. But then the sales team, one of those SKUs that they want to remove is 50% of their sales.
Exactly.
So what do we do, right? And here, it's never black and white. Depending on the case, depending on the priorities of the company, some decisions will be made. But in general, when you reach this kind of decisions, it's very high level. It reaches the CEO. He looks into it in details, because if you drop sales, you drop profitability, and it impacts your cash flow, and so on and so forth. So I would say it's on a case-by-case basis. There's no one answer. If the sales is 2% and the sales team are telling the marketing team, no, we don't want to drop it, we're going to drop by 2%, then it's an easy discussion that they can have on how they're gonna replace those 2%. But if half of your sales are disappearing suddenly based on a marketing decision, then it's a bigger discussion, right?
Yeah.
But I think oftentimes, if you have a team of marketing and sales that are both data driven,
Yeah.
that are both interested in looking at the best interest of the consumer at the end, they will always reach a common ground. But if you have a team where, let's say, the sales team is interested in sales and the marketing is looking at the consumer's benefit, and here there might be a clash. And at the end of the day, there is always a way to meet in the middle. There's always a solution that will benefit both the company and the consumer. But my philosophy is, coming back to consumer centricity, whatever you do, always put the consumer first.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, no matter the sales that you manage to get or the profit, the cost of bringing a lost consumer back is more expensive than what you lose in that moment.
100%. Exactly. Perfectly said. I really like the alignment between the sales and the marketing, as you just mentioned, having the data and putting the consumer first. Then khalas, the equation is solved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
100%. Okay, I want to take you from the sales and marketing and go into the global strategies, where, mashallah, you have worked on a very successful global campaigns. So I want to ask you, Hamza, from your point of view, how can you take a global strategy and resonate it locally, yet you maintain the brand's identity?
That's a very good question. See, all global brands have a global strategy. And all of them, in an ideal world, they would like to keep the same brand identity, the same colors, the same look and feel, the same theme, because a brand identity is very important.
Yeah.
It's what builds your brand.
100%.
It's how people recognize you. But at the same time, if your brand is not relevant to the country you're trying to operate in or to the region, then you can easily fail. And we have many examples of that.
Have
right?
you faced this before?
Definitely. I faced this before in some examples where we're trying to launch a brand that is popular somewhere for whatever reason. Like there was a story behind it that it became popular. And then we take that brand and we try to launch it somewhere that is completely not relevant. Like it could be related to price, it could be related to the taste, it could be related to let's say the size, the format sometimes.
Yeah.
And then the communication. In some countries, for example, they value Europeans and what they do.
Yeah.
In other countries, they do everything that Europeans don't do.
So contradicted.
Yeah, so if you try to take an ad that Europeans do and just implement it, sometimes it's a big problem.
Yeah.
In other cases, it's the other way around. When they see an ad where Europeans are there, they want to do like them. They want to buy the product.
They want to mimic.
Exactly. They want to mimic. So the question about how do you take the global strategy and try to make it locally relevant applies in some cases and not others.
Yeah. There is no absolute.
There's no absolute. However, I can share with you some of the examples from my career where I took a global strategy and I implemented it. One of the examples is oil of Olay. I would just call it Olay, but I worked on Olay.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful brand. The science behind the cream, and you wouldn't believe it, it costs maybe $20 or 80 dirhams, the best one, the top of the range one.
Yeah.
But it performs sometimes better than a 700 dirhams cream that you would buy from a fancy store.
Okay.
It's a beautiful brand. And in this example, I can tell you, I could take the global strategy, the visuals, everything, and plug and play.
Plug and play.
And that was perfectly fine. The only thing where I had to adapt is that in the region, the brand started to look a bit more like, outdated. And we needed to be relevant to younger consumers. And that's where I had to step in and tell the global team, you know what? I might need to adjust some of the packaging, some of our point of sale material to look more attractive to the younger generation. And that's a very good example.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So one small amendment can lead to a huge change.
Yeah, definitely. So again, it's on a case-by-case basis, but this is just one example. I also always, when we talk about global brands, I would like to give one more example that I always appreciate.
Yeah, please.
And this example is from Nike.
Nike.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
So, Nike as a brand, they never sell you shoes.
Yeah.
They will always sell you emotions.
100%.
And they want the person to see themselves somewhere. And it's always very emotional, whether you watch it in the US or you watch it in Europe or here. And if you look at one of their recent ads or campaigns that they did in Saudi Arabia, I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I know. I didn't see
Okay.
it.
So basically what they did is that they came at a time, I think it was 4 years ago, maybe, or 5 years ago. They came in a time where women in Saudi Arabia had a complete sudden culture shift. Where they started, giving more importance to their careers. They started driving. They started wanting to go out and have an identity that is specific to them, which by the way, it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
So I love that part. And what Nike did, they did an ad that shows a woman sitting on a bench and where some girls tell her, come and play with us. But she's shy. She likes sports, but she's shy. She's not confident to stand up and play. And then suddenly, they make her imagine the other way around, that she stands up and plays football. And then they show a series of sports that she does. So from football to skating in the park, with the Jeddah building in the background,
Amazing.
to her doing skydiving and really swimming. And that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then it was so relevant at that time. That was one of the most successful campaigns. Actually, it has the biggest number of views on YouTube compared to any other ad in Saudi Arabia.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
So that's how a brand can take a global idea, a global way of doing things, and then apply it to a local market to be relevant.
Yeah.
So that's an example I wanted to share.
Going back to Nike, there is a very good book that I read it. It's called Shoe Dog with Phil Knight. It states out the full story, how Nike has been evolving throughout the years and showing, as you mentioned, successful campaigns that resonates with the consumer by the end of the day. But that's super nice.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a great job.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to the part that I love, which is the digital transformation. And it's crystal clear phenomena now that the role of a marketeer leader has dramatically changed during the digital transformation current era. So how do you see now the reshaping of the marketing leaders comparing to 5 or 10 years back when it comes to the digital transformation?
Okay. Thank you, Dina. Look, first of all, digital transformation for a lot of people can sound like a fancy word, and then people get lost sometimes when they, especially like new joiners, when you tell them digital transformation, they're like, "What is this?" And what is?
It's like a huge word.
Yeah, but it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's literally the change that happens over time in digital platforms. And when we say digital platforms, I mean, we're all familiar with the digital world, you know?
Yeah.
From the time computers were invented to, internet cafes, you know?
Yes, I remember this. I used to go make my exams there.
Exactly. So that was the first time that we started to have some kind of interaction with the digital world,
Yeah.
actually.
Mm.
And from that time, not only it never stopped, but it keeps accelerating.
Yes.
Yeah. So from that time to iPhones, iPads, and now more and more devices are interconnected, and more people are not only on digital, but sometimes too often online. And that digital world became part of the new reality.
Yes.
At some point we were like, thinking, we could avoid it, but today you literally can't leave if you're not online.
Yeah.
And so the digital transformation transformed the whole world, not only the marketing field. But why it's so important in the marketing field is because it allows marketing professionals to understand consumer behavior more deeply, more personalized,
Yes.
and then they are able today to customize their communication based on consumers.
Again, to the consumer.
To the consumer. And the thing is, because in the past, if you take, let's say, a city in Morocco, most people would think the same, act the same. So the marketing communication that you will send them will work for
With
most
everyone.
people.
Yeah.
Today, if you take that same city in Morocco, you will find your neighbor is completely different from you.
Yeah, it's not the case. Exactly.
Because they have access to the whole world.
Yeah.
And based on what media they consume, they can go in a completely opposite direction than you. And based on that, whoever you used to target with the same ad before doesn't work anymore. And that took some time for companies to understand that actually we really need to customize our communication to every consumer.
Yeah, customization. This
Correct.
is so important.
Yeah. And today we're able to do it.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're able to send the same ad that will target a person speaking Arabic versus a person speaking English, someone who's interested in the scientific benefit versus someone who's interested in just knowing which is the best, and so on and so forth. And so based on that, you're able to... And then, so this is this part. And then there's the other part where, you just talk about friends, and then suddenly you open your phone and you see an ad about friends.
This is crazy. This is honestly, it makes me feel like, oh my God, someone is watching me.
It's creepy, right?
So creepy.
So that is part of the digital transformation. We often, accept everything that the phone asks us and then be surprised why, we're being listened to. But part of the digital transformation is that as well, is that the whole idea behind it is that companies want to target people based on their preferences. It's not to creep on them, but it's to target based on their preferences. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, different companies have different levels of ethics, do's and don'ts. So some companies might, watch you more than others. But the whole idea is that today we're able to understand consumers at a deeper level because of the digital transformation.
Yes.
But there is another side to it, by the way. Consumers, thanks to the digital transformation, are able to make better decisions, more informed decisions, faster, and based on other consumers' feedback.
Reviews.
So it helped companies, but it helped more so the consumers.
Yeah.
Because today, if I want to go and stay somewhere in France that I don't know, if I didn't have reviews from 1,000 people, I wouldn't trust the place.
100%.
So it gave power to consumers. In the same way, if I'm going to buy certain types of food for my baby, in the past, we had information from our moms, from our families, which was not always informed. And then we would just buy, and then 10 years later you figure out that whatever you gave was not so good.
Yeah.
Today, you go on the reviews. Can you imagine? You can copy paste all the reviews, 1,000 reviews into AI,
Yeah.
and then ask AI, what is the best decision for me based on this? Because if you ask AI directly, it might not give you the right answer.
Yeah.
But if you collect enough data, reviews, information, you upload PDF about that product, it will give you a very accurate information on what's the right decision to make.
Yeah.
So today, consumers have more power than ever before because or thanks to the digital transformation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really like the part where you mentioned that some companies, they do do's and don'ts. And when it comes to digital transformation, we just need to highlight that the compliance, the legal, the governance, this is very important. So things would be structured.
Right.
So we can get the real consumer insight that will help the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely. Those are very important things that you mentioned.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Hamza. Okay, moving from the digital transformation, I want to take you through the world of content. And this is very common, and يعني خلاص, now it's very, very clear that the content creation became a marketing mandate.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, how can you differentiate between a content that goes viral and a content that really makes a conversion in the consumer behavior when it comes to the buying?
Okay. So it's a good question. Content that goes viral is not always intentional. Actually, 99% of the time is not intentional.
Yes.
You know, it's someone that likes it and shares it, and that someone has followed, and then it goes viral. It's not intentional. But content that grabs attention comes down to two things. It could be entertainment, so something that you watch that is entertaining,
Okay.
or it could be novelty.
Novelty.
Yeah, so something new that you see that grabs your attention, and then you want to click, you want to see, you want to learn more, and that grabs your attention. And these two content types of content creation usually are very good and are more likely to go viral.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, with time, we learn what are some of the things that can go viral, and we try it as much as we can, you know, to have all those ingredients to do it. But the reality is, most of the time, it doesn't work, you know. And at the same time, other things that were not planned to go viral. So it's virality is something. It's a big topic that we've been. Every time, you know, I brief an agency, I tell them, you know, I want to go viral, and they just like, they look at me, they're like, that's not something we can plan.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So that's from one side, and then the other part you asked me about was what was it about?
The conversion of the consumer. And this is
Ah,
very
okay.
critical, because
Yeah.
by the end of the day, we don't care about being viral. We care about that the consumer go and buy.
Right,
The conversion
right.
of the buying signals.
Right. So here it will vary a lot, again, depending on the category. Right? Sometimes you would be scrolling on your phone and you would see, you know, a product that you really want to eat right away.
Yeah.
You order it on Talabat or whatever platform.
Immediately.
Immediately, you were converted
Yeah.
just from an ad. Okay? Now, if you're scrolling and you see a car, you might not necessarily buy it right away.
I need to plan 10 years ahead.
Exactly. Or if you are scrolling and you see something that is, I don't know, prescribed by doctors, for example, you might also not order it because it requires a lot more research, a lot more you know, understanding of the product, and someone specialized in that for you to buy that product. So it depends on the category. But I think there are also ingredients that are important to maximize the chance of conversion. And for me, the two most important ingredients when it comes to content creation related to conversion are two things: trust. People need to trust you when they see your communication, and relevance. Relevance or relatability, like they need to relate to what they see, right? So these are two things that are very important, that if you don't have in your communication, the likelihood of the consumers, actually buying your product goes down.
Perfect. Trust and relevancy.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, since you opened up the topic of the trust, I want to take you through the part of behind every strong brand and strong strategy, there is a trusted, strong team. And that's why I want to ask you, how are you able to build a team who's having a strategical thinking, meanwhile, a good on-ground execution?
Yeah. No, thank you for this question, Dina. And I think you've touched upon the thing that I'm most passionate about.
And I know that you have a very strong team.
Yes.
You have a very strong team.
I have a strong team, and I'm very proud of them. And the thing is, I'm very passionate about people, in general. I'm very curious about people. Recently, in the past 3 years, I studied psychology in a way I've never done before, to really understand how people think and what motivates people, what's important for people. And based on that, when I work with my team, I'm really, my empathy increased since I started to study psychology, and because I really understand why people do what they do. And so the question that you asked me, how do you build a strong team? I think the first thing that you need to have in a team is psychological safety.
Yeah.
This is the base. This is the foundation.
100%.
If people don't feel safe working with you, you cannot expect much from them.
Totally.
That's a rule that I hope I will always follow. The second thing that is very important is that every team member needs to feel important. Because as human beings, the number one driver that we have is feeling important. And there's data about this. If you take a curve of your life and you see where people are the happiest, it's when they felt the most valued, the most important in that specific period of time. 100%. And that's why you see when people start to get older and they don't add as much value as they used to in their families, they start to feel depressed, they're unhappier. And when they're younger, they're also a bit unhappy because they feel not valued. They feel, I don't earn, I don't add value, I don't know a lot of things. And then but the best age, I think, between 33 and 40, where people...
Middle age.
Everyone needs them. Their kids needs them.
The
older
needs,
people.
Yeah.
Everyone needs them. And that's when they're the happiest, because they feel very important.
That's very insightful.
Yeah. So if you don't take that piece of insight and use it with your team to make them feel important, then you've missed something that could really make a big difference. Now, when we talk about a team, we don't talk about individuals. You talk about a group of people.
Yes.
Right? So how do you make a team very strong? Well, one thing I value a lot is diversity.
Yeah.
If you have everyone thinking the same, having the same skills, you're not going to go very far.
Nothing to add.
Exactly. But if you have one who's very strategic, one who's very creative, one who's an executioner, and you're able to have that harmony within the team,
yes,
you can go very far. And that's why I believe my team is very strong.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I got really lucky to be in the team that I am in. From the moment I came in, they just made everything very easy.
Yeah.
To work with them, they take feedback very well, which is also very important. To adjust, to fix, to work towards your objectives. Now, a lot of times, I think the biggest challenge that a manager has to deal with sometimes is when you want to grow the team, when you want to take them somewhere, and then how often and how you need to give them feedback. How do you need to steer the wheel, without breaking it?
Yeah.
And I think why this is challenging is because every person is different.
Yes.
Some people like direct feedback. Some people you need to go around the bush and try to find a way so that they don't feel hurt. Otherwise, they get demotivated for weeks. And so I think this is very challenging. And when I started my current role, I made a lot of mistakes related to this. Because, I just assumed everyone was like me. So I would do the same thing to everyone.
To motivate everyone, yeah.
And then I realized, it's wrong. So again, I learned from my failure.
I can see a very high amount of adaptability.
I mean, again, if you don't learn from your mistakes, if you don't do mistakes,
you will never learn.
You will never learn. And that takes us to the next part of your question, which is one thing I always tell my team is please make a lot of mistakes.
Oh.
Yeah. I want you to make mistakes. What I don't want you to see is you not trying. And there are some team members like that. They are so scared of making a mistake that they stay paralyzed.
Yeah.
They don't do anything just so that they don't go wrong. I tell them, no, please make a mistake. There are some team members who never ask me questions. Can you believe it? And I tell them, no, go and ask me questions.
Ask.
As stupid as it can be, I will not go and tell other people that you ask me a stupid question. It's okay, go ahead.
Fine.
Ask me a stupid question.
Yeah.
But that's how you grow. It's by asking stupid questions sometimes. It's by making mistakes. And the more mistake you make, the more you grow, the faster you grow. And a good example is the journey that I shared with you at the beginning of the podcast. With the number of failures and mistakes that I made is what actually built me.
MashaAllah.
So that's one advice that I have for people. Just do stuff. Whatever it is, even if it's wrong, just do it. The learning that you will get from those mistakes, you can get in any university or any any other learning platform. So that's
You're lucky with your team.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm wishing you the best of luck with your team.
Thank you.
And now I want to take you through a personal dimension. I needed to take it forward, definitely, which is the photographing. I know that you're a very, very good photographer. So I want to link it to the marketing as well and ask you, Hamza, how do you see photographing through the lens, from a creative lens, into the branding and building up the brand identity and the storytelling from a marketing perspective?
Yeah. No, no, I love the question.
It's like a turnaround question, but honestly, because I do love photographing, by the way, I do love it. So I can understand that it is related to the marketing. It is related to the storytelling.
No, definitely. Look, I will tell you something. When I was a young professional, I never connected the dots between different skills. I always thought, someone likes to read books. Why would he read books? I mean, if he needs to focus on his job. Or someone is good at photography and then, okay, he's good at photography, but is not good at his job. And the more I progressed in my career, the more I started to understand that everything is related.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. And the more you develop skills anywhere, in any field, the more you will improve in your job in a certain way. And not only that, when you become an expert in a specific field, you will add value that nobody else can bring and that people don't even expect from you. And I will tell you, so the first time I bought my first camera was 15 years ago. And the reason I bought that camera is because, I had a BlackBerry. If you remember the phones, BlackBerry.
Yeah, I remember.
And they were some of the first few phones with a good camera that you could take a picture of things. And I remember I was walking in, I think it was Jumeirah Lakes, and I saw the skyline of Dubai Marina.
Wow.
It was at night, and I took a picture and I sent it to my family. And then my sister-in-law at that time, she told me, you really have an eye for photography. And before that, I had no idea that I liked photography even. But just this one sentence gave me such a confidence boost that I thought, you know what, I actually like photography. And that's when I bought that first camera. It was a Canon 70D, I still remember. And then I started taking pictures. And the more I took pictures, the more I improved. And the more I realized it's a meditation. It's really a meditation. Like sometimes I would take pictures for hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, sitting or standing in front of a building, just waiting for the right moment,
light,
for the moon to pass or for a specific car to pass, to take a picture. And the more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, the more it became part of me. And then, with time, I started realizing something else, that my presentation slides started to look a bit better than before.
It resonates to the workplace.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my slides look better. I started noticing that at work, people started telling me, can you take pictures of us? We really like your pictures. We want exactly the same picture.
I always tell you.
And then I started realizing that apart from the presentation, and when we work with agencies about a specific campaign, I started making more comments, giving more feedback related to what they do, where they place the child in the ad, for example, or where do they, how do they shoot the angle? Because it's
the
not
visuals.
just but it's not just photography, by the way. Even for videography, I started being passionate about.
Yeah.
So when we would shoot a commercial, I would go there and I would tell them, no, this is wrong. Do this, do that. Which before I would just be there as an observer. So that part also improved. And again, you never stop improving. So the more I improved, the more it had impact on my job.
Yeah.
But photography does not only teach you the creative part. There is a lot of technicalities in it. Focus.
Relaxed.
Yes.
Composed.
Patience. And sometimes, let's say, you want to take a picture of the moon. And then, the moon is blurry. The tripod is shaking, and if it's shaking, the picture will not be clear.
Yeah.
The lighting is not right. So many things. So it takes time to understand, okay, where you need to stand, what you need to do to stop the wind from moving the tripod. And all of those things, it kind of teaches you a lot, because it's quick failure and success.
Yeah.
Failure and success. So you feel bad that you're not able to do it. I'm not good enough. And then once you do it, you feel so good about yourself. You're like, okay, I can do it.
Self-achievement.
Self-achievement. It gives you the self-achievement, and then you apply the same in your role. So when you fail again at work, we're human beings.
Yeah.
At some point, we will make mistakes, or we will not be at our best. And when those moments happen, the difference between a person that will succeed or not is how you bounce back.
Yes.
How do you get back on your feet and be like, you know what? Yes, I was not my best in the past 2 days, but today I will be my best. And that's what makes a big difference between people who succeed eventually, who become great leaders, and those that struggle to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has also part of being self-acceptance and resilience.
Absolutely.
Bouncing back. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, by the end of our episode today, I need to look forward with you and ask you for what kind of advice would you advise the next generation for the marketing leaders that are coming, inshallah, soon, and what skills they should start gaining from now for their future opportunities?
Dina, there was never a period in time where adaptability was more important. Today, we are at the point in our life where not only digital transformation, but everything, change in general, is going to happen faster than ever before. And we all know why. Yeah, because of AI.
Yeah, 100%.
And China, for example, they already started making mandatory for kids starting 6 years old to learn about AI.
In the curriculum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of adaptability. Here it's the government that decided to adapt that. But for young professionals who are going to start their career or already started their career, one skill they need to learn is how to adapt quickly to change. And that requires also a lot of resilience. Because, you know, you could, let's say tomorrow, you could join a company and then suddenly the company decides to only start hiring third-party people, and then you need to open your own company and start being that third party. And this will happen a lot in the coming years.
Yeah.
A lot. And if you're not adaptable, if you only know how to do one thing, it's really a mindset of change that you need to have. You know, I notice a lot of people have different types of mindsets, and some people are like, no, this is who I am. This is not for me because this is who I am. If you go with that mindset,
rigid,
very rigid mindset of this is who I am, I don't like this, I like that, you're never going to reach anywhere.
Definitely.
But if you go in a mindset that, okay, now this is what is happening, this is the change, what I need to do now is X, Y, Z, and then see how you can make it enjoyable as well for you, even though you're changing, then you're going to reach places.
Yeah.
I think that one advice I have to give is about adaptability, really.
Perfectly said, perfectly said. I really would like to thank you, Hamza, for being with me today. It really means a lot to me, and this is exactly what I'm aiming always for, is to have real stories, real thinking, real impact to the people that mandates with the purpose and the impact to go forward and to increase our capabilities as well. So I'm super happy that you're here with me today, and I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you so much, Dina. I really appreciate it. I've enjoyed it so much. You know, we covered a lot of topics, and it's always a pleasure, you know, to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Me too. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
I did. Thank you so much, Dina.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.